thing I absolutely love doing, though, is working with the students. So I wouldn't want a position where I'm more on the technical side of things. I would absolutely want to stay interacting with the students and helping them develop into independent scientists. I would miss this immensely if I ever switched to a job where I didn't have this interaction. I'm not in the business of making people think they shouldn't be able to do things that they want to. I think the only thing you need to know is what it's about and whether this is a job that you think you can do, whether you're passionate about what you're learning about. Like I said before, it's a lot of mistakes. We have a lot of failures in science. And I had a colleague of mine who came in Toronto for a year, and she just couldn't handle the failures. So she decided not to pursue her PhD and she went to law school instead. But this is something that you can only figure out for yourself. I can't say to someone, you're not someone that can handle failure, because I'm not you. So I would always encourage someone to go for what they're excited about.
There are some days in every researcher's life. Most of the days are very bad because you expected something, either the experiments failed or the results were completely something that you did not expect. But then some days you understand maybe just one topic, and nobody in the world understands that. The feeling that you take home that day, it's I don't know how to explain it. I don't have the word for it, but because of that feeling, I am still doing what I'm doing.
It's really important to follow your passions. And those can evolve. So I think as a young child in STEM, explore what you're really interested in. Don't be discouraged by anything. Try to have grit, try to have resilience, and don't let anybody else's opinions affect that. Stay strong with what you believe in, and be open-minded, of course, to if you're incorrect, and be willing to change. But at the same time, have this resilience, because it can be difficult when you're going into a space that when you're young, for instance, and you don't know how to say no. I struggled with this during my PhD. I really wanted to do everything I was encouraged to, or maybe even told to. And it was sometimes challenging to say, I actually think that this is the way it should be done. So I learned a lot during this time. And I just would really encourage young women especially to have this grit, this resilience, and this drive, and try to keep that passion. I think if I were in this position, if people were to view me as a role model, I would want them to see 3 things in me that I would also hopefully be able to inspire in them. Number 1 would be to stay gritty, be persistent, be able to come into a space and know your value in this space, and know I can make an impact. I'm smart enough. I am going to keep trying even if it's hard. And when something fails, because it's inevitable in science that something will fail, I will be persistent. I will keep trying. I think another thing is to stay curious and to stay open-minded. I think this is really important for science for scientists, for researchers, but also for everybody to keep an open mind that they might be wrong. The world is changing. New facts are known every second. And it's really important to be able to take in new information and pivot what you're doing, and be able to adapt yourself to the changing world that we live in. So be persistent, be open-minded. Networking is really important. I do think that networking is really important. So perhaps this would be my 3rd.
Just pursue the interest, because it's a beautiful field. When you go back to your room after the day of work, and when you know you are the one who understands this particular field and nobody knows it better than you, and you just understood it for one night, you are the one who know it. It's a beautiful feeling. I guess from my smile you can already understand how I love this. I love teaching, and I also love teaching them not in the classroom but also in the labs. And then you see some people who are like never interested in chemistry, and now they are doing PhD in chemistry in US, in Germany, it makes me very, very happy.
Natürlich, es braucht auch das Commitment, ne? Und das Dranbleiben und das Durchhaltevermögen ist auch wichtig, aber das ist wirklich, glaube ich, die besten und cleversten Leute, die noch viel erfolgreicher sind als ich, die können diese Essenz wirklich sehr gut. Die können sehr gut erkennen, wo lohnt es sich dran zu bleiben und dann muss man da mal mit sehr viel Energie durchbeißen und wo lohnt es sich eben nicht, weil das Schlimmste, was einem passieren kann, ist, dass man seine Energie vergeudet an Stellen, wo es nicht wirklich zielführend ist. Und das stimmt genauso wirklich im Labor wie auch auf dem Karriereweg. Und das hat zu tun mit Erkennen, was wesentlich ist und solche Fragen.
I would absolutely say go for it. I think no matter what negatives they may hear or worries they have, they should just listen to the positive, focus on the positive things they hear, and study what they're passionate about. The most important thing in a job, especially in a scientific career, I would say, is to have passion for what you're doing. There's a lot of failures as a scientist at the bench. Not every experiment works. Every day we have failures. And if you're not passionate about what you're studying and what you're working on, this becomes a very, very difficult job. Especially essential for success in my field in particular, nothing special with respect to the other sciences, but in general, you have to be, as I've said before, very passionate about what you do. We have to read a lot, so you need to be interested in the subject. You have to always be thinking of new ideas, how to be innovative. So it's very important to keep your mind open and not narrow your thoughts too much.
Reach for the stars und lass andere entscheiden, ob du gut genug bist oder nicht. Also blockier dich nicht vorab selber mit diesen ganzen Gedanken und Selbstzweifeln, sondern geh aufs Ganze, quasi chase your dreams, also verfolge deine Träume auch und so weiter und eben lass es deine dann akademischen Peers oder so entscheiden, ob das gut genug ist oder nicht. Das ist noch immer hart genug, aber man soll sich vor allem nicht selber hindern daran, aufs Ganze zu gehen.